All right. Good morning, class. Today, what we're going to do? Yesterday, we looked at the introduction to fundamentals of Microsoft AI, and then the guiding principles, and then, of course, have to look into the technological aspect of it as well. But before we go into that, today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to discuss the exam questions with you. Okay. This exam question is basically based on the past exam questions also. So by reviewing these questions, I hope that we will have a better understanding of the module. And then which part do you focus on? Of course, you will take your whole life to master the subject. But for now, as we have attended 3 days program, let's make sure we clear the exam. Then continue your preparation. Okay, let's look at the question. A company employs a team of customer service agents to provide telephone and email support to customers. All right. The company develops a web chat bot to provide automated answers to common customer queries. Which business benefits should the company expect as a result of creating the web chat bot solution? Okay, first of all, what is a bot? A bot is like a robot. It basically can do tasks on its own. So you have your website, you have your social media sites, Facebook in particular. Of course, you also have LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitch, and many others. But I believe we pick up in one platform and then move on to the others. And besides, everybody uses Facebook every day. Some people nowadays in TikTok. So you can also incorporate in TikTok, but start with something that is, you have. So where do people gonna come and talk to your company? They're gonna come and talk to you by calling you. So if they're gonna call you, they gonna talk to you, you must answer. Sorry, yeah. Many times you call me, I won't answer one. So because you see, I'm a trainer. I'm always in the class, I'm teaching, then sometimes I'm having exam, or I might be in a presentation. So between all these things, WhatsApp messages, calling, some people ask, we are offering Microsoft AI 900 training. One people asking, sir, got CompTIA Security Plus training. Wow, pretty chatty lah. You can find it from other providers who are offering the CompTIA Security Plus. Or actually, of course, also I can also provide, but you wanted under which scheme? Are you going to pay on your own, or your company is going to pay, or you are looking for a government's funding? So then you must tell, but yeah, I'm in the middle of a class. Am I going to go and ask all these questions in the middle? No, right? So sometimes we don't answer. But you know what? All these are common things regarding to your company. I'm taking my company as a sample. So in your website, you have a link for what? Chat. In your Facebook, you have your also Messenger, Facebook Messenger chat. Your WhatsApp got Messenger chat. You can create Messenger chat in almost any platform, including your Instagram, including your TikTok. People do chat with you, right? But when they chat, when they chat, they ask question, you answer. But generally, if you are offering a particular product or service, can you direct your answers such a way that you're only answering about your product, your service to customers related with your offering? Can. Because you are the person talking to it, yes. But if you want that to be done automatically, that's where you have chatbots. So you teach the chatbot what do you want the chatbot to answer. So you must ground it. Groundedness means that means, of course, chatbots are created by using AI. Why? I am recording it in Microsoft Teams. So later I can share you the recording. You can also review later on again and again. So that's why I'm recording the question. So when I look at my chatbot got chatbot AI. Chatbot got chatbot AI. What does the chatbot AI do? Chatbot AI basically going to respond to whatever query that's going to come in, right? So guide your customer when they call or when they chat to you. Hi, welcome to my company. We are offering a particular product or service. At the current moment, we are running this promotion. If you are interested, I will be able to send you more details about this particular. See, in chatbot, I mean, when people call me and talk to me also sometimes, hello, Hess, I cannot immediately, I'm going to send you a Microsoft training. I'm going to send you, I cannot, because I don't know what are you calling for. You're calling for exam, you're calling for training, you're calling for support, you're calling for technical assistance, you're calling for probably just a chit chat. But many times public are interested in your product or in your service. So you preferably, you focus on yourself answering on your product and service. If you are the salesperson, sit down on the phone. Remember those guys who are calling you from the insurance company, those calling from the credit card company. The question is like, nowadays, we say, don't listen to me. But if you remember early days, very difficult to say no to them. Can you guys don't join the teams? Well, because I already joined there. There will be a problem when everyone joined the bandwidth. The reason why you can join later on. Joining here so you can get access. So now the chatbot AI will do this, but you must do ground it into your company. So what your company is doing? Your PDF now, you have your product knowledge, you have your product content, you have your website, you have your description of what you want to offer. You give all these things, feed it to the chatbot AI. So the chatbot AI, and then you can also give it a persona. Tell it that, okay, answer like a lady, answer like a man, answer with a professional tone, or answer casually and behave, maintain conversation. So if you notice when you go hi, if somebody immediately replies you, hi, welcome to Aksara United. I'm glad to receive your query. Can I know what you want me to help you today? See, immediately, the sentence itself makes people who read it, they're willing to do me a favor. I'm willing to, probably ask the more question, try to get my product or service. But of course, if I type no response, no reply, okay, tomorrow I find somebody else, isn't it? So that is where your chatbot AI come into picture. But of course, you can create chatbot AI, a general chatbot AI. That means people can actually come into your WhatsApp group, I mean, in your Messenger, WhatsApp, or whatever chat, and ask whatever they want. Can I? Also can. But then remember, all this money. So when you set up the chatbot, you're going to using with ChatGPT. You got 3.5 and 4.0, correct? The 4.0 latest one. 4.0 free. Comparatively, between 3.5 and 4.0, 4.0 is, okay, like 3.5, earlier version, they had the standard and the professional. Standard free, professional paid. Now 4.0, the professional in 3.5 has become your standard. Free. Of course, they do also have a professional version where you can get more query token, they call it. But no need lah. This is already good enough already. However, since standard is good enough and then 3.0 still around, 3.5, and it is free, use 3.5 professional sufficient already. Now, what is the difference between 3.5 and 4.0? If let's say 4.0, you ask questions regarding the current whatever finding in internet, the 4.0 can answer. The 3.5, the current one, this year one, maybe he cannot answer because his collection of data is based on up to previous year. That's one. But that's okay. It's not like technology. You're not going to be asking something about the current. You're going to asking something like, okay, probably Microsoft. Yeah. I mean, in this scenario, So that is already available, enough sufficient information for you. Okay, that's on what you can do with the customer service agent response, virtual assistants. But it's just that not just any virtual assistant. You want a virtual assistant which can actually perform a task according to your liking. See, liking means what? I come to you, I ask you a question. What's your product, sir? Send me your product catalog. Send me your link. Send me your video. You get me interactive. If I like it, send me a promotion. Send me a sale. But when I say send me, am I going to ask? No. See, I'm a customer. I don't know. I come to your website. I see, oh, you got do teaching or training. Okay, I will simply ask, can you do training? So by right, after that query, the chatbot has to be able to give us this. Okay, we have a schedule coming up. We have a program coming up. We have all these, different modules. Would you like to participate in any upcoming modules? Right? The chatbot can do that, right? We can create this using, okay, where can you create this? How can you create this? By Microsoft Azure. When I use Azure AI, we have AI chat. But then, what is the challenge? A bit tedious to configure, a bit lengthy process to configure. So some third party, there are available, which can make it easy for you to configure them. So we're going to look at those along with you today after lunch. Besides that, you also have your website, a Wix website. Wix also got a Wix chat. Many website hosters nowadays, they are having the chat component building into their platform. So what you need next on the chat is not just the chat, but it's called flow control. What is a flow control? I want to know when they ask first question, what the type of answers. Normally, when you come and say hi to my side, hi, welcome to Aksara. We are running a current program. Would you like to know more about the current program? ABC. Click, I'll give you information. Or else, we have our other programs. You can click on the other programs and then explore. Or else you can direct me a query. You ask me a question, I answer. So if you create such a flow, and then from there you take them, okay, let's say they do not want to subscribe for any program. They're just interested. Maybe then you can throw them invitation. Would you like to subscribe to our newsletter? Would you like to subscribe to our email list? Would you like to, those type of things. When you get them connected, that is where you can nurture them in the future. But that's what you want the chatbot to do. So in this case, which benefit should the company expect as a result of creating the web chat bot? Increased sale, reduced workload for the customer service agent, improved product. Obviously, it's what? Reduce workload for the customer service agent. All right, so that's good. Number 2. Let's look at the number 2. For a machine learning progress, how should you split data for training and evaluation? For a machine learning progress. Okay, now we are looking at in artificial intelligence, you have machine learning, you have deep learning, you have your generative query itself. So for this machine learning progress, how should you split data for training and evaluation? So when I talk about this one, machine learning, this is where your data you supply to the system, right? The raw data. But this raw data, remember, we have supervised and unsupervised. That means what? There is some predictable, some is actually forecastable. I mean, cannot predict, right? So with that amount of data, the data you must give it to the system. How are you going to give it? From your SQL, XML, or from any other thing. So in this case, when I give the data, this is my data. Oh my goodness, this is the full lot of my data. Let's say my data consists of my products, my sales date, my sales volume, my sales region, my salesperson, my sales quantity, profit, my loss, my overhead, my other, all of those are included. But you only wanted to take up a cost. Okay, currently, diesel price has gone up. You only want to take up the transport cost and evaluate that. That is why you have to use what? Split the data into those. Right? So this is the original data. But you take out what portion of the data you want. In Excel, you call this pivoting. If you look at general environment, you are basically doing what? Filtering. You are trying to sorting. You are trying to grouping. Or in another word, you are splitting the data. But of course, the original data is still the same. It doesn't affect the original data. You take a snapshot, it only pulls out the data that you want and then allows you to perform your analysis onto that. The split data model is particularly useful when you need to separate data into training and testing sets. Why? Yeah? Oh, yeah, because I do not want to work on the production data, because whatever we are doing in AI are generally analytical things. Use the split row option if you want to divide the data into two parts. You can specify the percentage of data to put in each split. By default, the data is divided 50-50. You can also randomize the selection of rows in each group and use stratified sampling. Remember another thing that what we looked at in machine learning is basically AI is going to do what? All types of analysis. Meaning to say you have three combinations that you know, but possibly can go up to, let's say, 4. So he will try to connect all of these together and then produce an output which probably will direct into maybe much smaller segment of group A, group B. Originally, maybe you have millions of objects. Now you already simplify them. So that is split data training for evaluation. Next question. You are developing a model to predict events by using classification. You have a confusion matrix for the model scored on test data is shown in the following exhibit. Confusion matrix means what? The value is random. So when the value is random, okay, use the drop-down menu to select the answer choice that complete each statement. What are we going to do? We're going to look at actual value on top and the predicted value. So what are we going to answer? If you look at the numbers here, you choose number 11 and 1033. Why? Yeah? You have to follow this positive, negative, true, false. So what did they ask us in the question? So if I look at this, I got 1, 0, 1, 0. When 1 and 1 is combined, that means it's correct, I get 11. If it is not correct, I get 13,951, very high. If it's true, actual, predicted, not correct, I still get 1033. So that means the value that we are looking at is the one that is true, not the false value. 0 means false. So as such, 11 and 1033. Some question, afal sajalah. I hope you can. I hope you can understand the logic behind this. We are looking at the positive values, actual true and actual false values. Negative value also got. But the problem with the negative value is already negative. Sudah jauh from what is expected. So we don't want to go into that. Okay, number 4. You build a machine learning model by using the automated machine learning user interface. You use a UI interface. You need to ensure that the model meets the Microsoft transparency principle for responsible AI. Okay, remember the 6 principles of AI. The 6 principles of AI. And now, what does the 6 principles of AI? Yesterday we looked at. quite a couple of them, right? So transparency is one of them. What does the transparency tells me? That means you must inform to your users what the data is going to be used for, what it is actually being performed. So what you can do here. But then look at this transparency principle, set validation type to auto, enable explain best model, set primary metric to accuracy, set maximum concurrent iteration to 0. This all looks like not directly connected with transparency, is it? So for this later, after in a while, we're going to go back to our Microsoft Learn and then revisit the modules again one more time. But for now, remember the key. Enable explain best module. When you enable explain, it will explain to the customers and clients on what is the use of this data is going to be. You see, model explain, explainability. Most businesses run on trust, and being able to open ML black box helps build transparency and trust. In heavily regulated industries, it is important for them to comply with the regulation, financial, medical, healthcare. These are all critical departments must make sure they follow the 6 guiding principles. One key aspects of this is understanding the relationship between input variables and model output. Knowing both the magnitude and direction of the impact has an unpredicted value helps better understand. That means what? So under model explainability, when you enable explain model, that means the system will make sure it does inform to the user, because AI, it's not talking about your own self. So you are teaching the AI to become transparent. Then as such, it would. This is the thing, lah. As such, so-called, the ChatGPT is not going to cheat you. Is ChatGPT going to cheat you or not? Majority of the time, it is not going to cheat you. I tested a few things lah. Of course, you must understand this ChatGPT thing was developed by Western world. At the current moment now, you're talking about all these Google method, all Western lah. And then currently now there is a very critical crisis going on in the Middle East, in Palestine, right? Go ask ChatGPT about Palestine, it will not answer. White man, shut up. Can you imagine how that? No, it is not answering. They are filtering even that. So by right, transparency, you're not supposed to filter, bro. What is happening? You got to make sure it is shared. If you go and try and ask, only place where you can get a reply is when you go to the Middle Eastern sites like Al Jazeera, CNN, BBC pun suppress habis. Only once in a while the issue about the fight will come out. But the fight is happening every day. People there is like every day bombarded. But then we hear news, last month got big fight. 2 months ago. Currently now we are busy petrol price going up. Currently now we are busy Malaysian politics, economy, price, job losses. A lot of companies are losing jobs. Things are happening in a wrong direction. Supposedly now is the boom time. Why going down? Got many reasons for that. I don't want to get into that. But this is the transparency matter. Of course, they themselves are promoting the transparency, but it is not there. What to do? Okay, number 5. Okay, another question. Select yes if the statement is true. Forecasting housing prices based on historical data is an example of anomaly detection. True, false. Forecasting, predicting, okay lah. If you are forecasting, that means the idea is like this lah. Forecasting is like you tell I am predict. I assume this is going to happen. But predicting means I predict this is going to happen because you know why? Got these things. Forecasting got no reason. Simply, I forecast tomorrow you're going to become prime minister. It may not happen. Predicting, okay, yeah lah, you are now in politics. You are now having support of enough number of MP. If you do such calculation, that's called predicting. So forecasting housing prices, no. Identifying suspicious sign-ins by looking for deviations from usual patterns is an example of anomaly detection. Anomaly detection is what? Something that is not normal. Pretty simple, abnormal. So, is suspicious sign-in considered something not normal? Yeah. But the problem is identifying suspicious sign-in by looking for deviation from usual pattern is an example of anomaly detection. The problem, this one you want to detect. This is what? Suspicious sign-in, false even if it is false sign-in, you probably can detect. Why? Password wrong. Because suspicious sign-in is what? You suspect, but the filler got the username and password and connector. So how can you call that to be something anomaly? That is already breached. That's why this is if you look into it, it is also a part of the anomaly. You can also take it as a part of the nothing normal one. Sign-in, you want to see all the different sign-ins. Okay, I can. Identifying suspicious sign-ins by looking for deviation. Next one, predicting whether a patient will develop diabetes based on the patient's medical history is an example of anomaly detection. Medical history is going to give you anomaly detection. Yeah. No lah. Normally, what can show you the anomaly? Something that is like not normal. Medical, everybody has medical history. So let's say you anomaly, you do not have a medical history. That is something I think. If someone of you come up and say that I've never been medical doctor inspection or anything, suddenly now I have diabetes. How old are you? We have to ask it. Okay, now we are going to go and investigate. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. How can you suddenly have diabetic? You must should have banyak control food. So must your blood level sugar very high. Must you have some hormone deficiency, isn't it? So you have to go back to the historical. You cannot just simply call that as anomaly. That is historical. Okay, next. Anomaly detection encompasses many important tasks in machine learning. Identifying transactions that are potentially fraudulent. Learning patterns that indicate that a network intrusion has occurred. Finding abnormal clusters of patients. Checking values entered into a system. All these are part of your anomaly detection. So why number 2 not correct? Number 1 and number 3 not correct. The key word is forecasting. But then at the second one, predicting. This is already considered correct, right? Predicting whether a patient will develop diabetes based on the patient's medical history is an example of anomaly detection. But why we cannot say this as anomaly? Because you are looking at the medical history. Medical history is all, everybody's have medical history. You're going to see any medical history anomaly. If I'm going to see anomaly on your blood level, glucose in your blood, everybody going to have 5, 6. Suddenly, what others will having 1 low? Why? Suddenly, what others will having 20 very high anomaly. So that is the difference. Okay. Number 6. So after this, I'm going to go a little faster. We're not going to go detail into the questions. Let's grab the questions first. Then we will repeat one more round of discussions in the time before exam. Then you go for exam. This should be good. So today morning session is going to be a little heavy because afternoon you would be sleepy. So I use the morning to brainstorm the questions here. Okay. Now here, the handling of unusual or missing values provided to an AI system is a consideration for the Microsoft principle for responsible AI. What? Handling of unusual or missing value. Is it transparency? No. Unusual or missing value. Reliability is not unusual. Privacy, inclusiveness, isn't it? See, unusual or missing values are values which are not actually part of probably your search. For reliability and safety, the handling of unusual or missing values provided to an AI system is a consideration for the Microsoft reliability and safety. Huh? How do I explain this? AI system needs to be reliable and safe in order to be trusted. It is important to perform as it was originally designed. To respond safely, its inherent resilience should resist intended or unintended manipulation. Rigorous testing and validation should be established. Okay. AI system performance can degrade over time, so a robust monitoring model tracking process needs to be established to reactively and proactively measure the model's performance and retrain it. So reliability and safety. The handling of unusual or missing value. Okay, so the keyword is unusual. So it's not reliable data, but I still will be able to manage it because of the principles of reliability and safety. It will make sure that, okay, this data will put into a context of maybe lesser percentage of reliability. Of course, if the data is more accurate, then we have higher data of reliability. So that is where you will do in your thing. Another type of question in the exam is going to be drag and drop. So if you look at this, the question is going to be basically given on left and like this, an automated chat to answer whatever about refunds and exchange. What is this? Conversational AI, isn't it? Chatbot lah. Chatbot is called conversational AI. Determining whether a photo of a person, that is what? Vision, isn't it? Computer vision. Determining whether a review is positive or negative. Huh? Determining whether review is something positive or negative. How can we process this? Natural language. Natural language processing, right? It's just like, when you ask somebody after you take them to a shop, hey, how's the food? Okay lah. That means you know what it means. Hey, okay. That means different. Same word. There you go. Conversational AI, computer vision, natural language processing. Okay, next, number 8. You are designing an AI system that empowers everyone, including people who have hearing, visual, and other impairment. Ada orang cacat, but you still give them the support. This is an example of what kind of thing? Inclusiveness. Yeah, you are bringing everybody into our network. Inclusiveness. Very easy, I think. Number 9, drag and drop again. Look at that. You have a principle that which principle ensure that AI system operates as they were originally designed, respond to unanticipated conditions, and resist harmful manipulation. Lebih kurang, where can we come? Answer. Accountability, reliability boleh. I think more onto a reliability and safety. Implementing processes to ensure that decisions made by AI system can be overridden by humans. Accountability is this. Process to ensure that decision made by AI system can be overridden by humans. Isn't security? Privacy and security. Provide consumers with information and controls over the collection, use, and storage of Biasalah. What is this? provides consumers with information and controls over the collection, use, and storage. Accountability or privacy and security. Accountability, reliability, and safety. Let's just analyze the question. If AI system respond to unanticipated condition and resist harmful manipulation, reliability and safety. That means the system is reliable. It's also safe. It's not going to go onto an extreme condition. Accountability, implementing process ensure the decision made by AI can be overridden by humans. So that's called accountability. Huh? Is it accountability? Accountability means you take responsibility. But here, what you want to do, implement process to ensure a decision made by AI can be overridden by human. Accountable lah. Yeah, you are accountable for your programmings. That means we can still override them. Privacy and security, of course, provide consumer with information and controls over the collection, use, and storage of their data. That will be privacy and security. Okay. All right, next question. When developing an AI system for self-driving car, the Microsoft for responsible AI should be applied to ensure consistent operation system during unexpected circumstances. Which principle? Reliability and safety, right? Yeah, you talk about or self-driving car. You better be reliable and safe. You don't tell me, I'm giving you inclusiveness. That means you're going to have all types of things in your driving experience. I know it's self-driving car, but it might drive itself on its own to anywhere. Oh, that is not the one that you want. It must be reliable. At this autonomous car, I do not want inclusiveness. Give me reliable and safety. Imagine sitting on the car suddenly speed off. Huh? Tungula, next generation of cars, right? Hopefully that's not going to happen. But it will happen to a certain extent. Already got, right? There are some places where things are already automated. Like the MRT, LRT trains mostly are all controlled by the switch system. Not just talk about a small one, but even the big transport systems in the world, like the whole of India, the whole of US, they're also maintaining it. But that is actually doable because why? All the locomotives and cars, you control, the system control. When it comes to self-driving car, who's going to control? That's the question. If you let one body to control, then the accident will be lesser. But cars are private, right? There has to be a day when self-driving cars like Grab must become more common. Imagine if I want to go out, I just book a car, the car comes in front of my house. I don't need to own the car. I sit on the car, go to wherever I want to. But don't put some driver, because you put a driver, now what is happening? But the driver is a human being, right? Suddenly the flow, I need jam, I want to turn, he can turn. An accident can happen because human being. So you got to make all the cars self-driving. And all of them must be controlled by preferably main controllers. Then they know where the cars are moving. They can control the traffic. So hopefully lah. Boleh percaya ke? So high tech pun the train can go and collide. Itu dah lah. I just told you the big one. I mean, they are not normal organization. Others are Six Sigma organization. I mean, comparatively, if you calculate the number of train accident, very less. Adalah, sometimes kita tengok, train sudah accident kan. But very, very less. Even lesser is your flight accident, But people are still scared also lah. Car accident tak payah cerita. So let's be clear about this. Which tasks should you include to ensure that the service meets the Microsoft transparency principle for responsible AI? Provide documentation to help developers debug the code. Transparency principle. Provide documentation. So you're giving information, right? So transparent. Ensure that all visuals have an associated text that can be read by a screen reader. That is called transparent. The text. How do I know the text is actually the correct one? You might put a wrong text. Enable auto scaling to ensure that a service scales based on demand. That is not transparency. That is scalability. You can scale out. Provide documentation. That one already. Ensure that the training data set is representative of the population. That is accuracy. Here we are talking about transparency. Transparency means inform to your consumers and customers what are you doing with the data. That's C. Okay, another drag and drop question. I will stop at number 20 and then give you a short break. Then we continue again. Workload type, answer. What we got to look at? Identify handwritten letters. Which one? Tak apalah, kita tak payah risau. You can just throw. You see, I want everyone to answer each question. Louder. Wrong. No worries. So what? Okay. Identify handwritten letters. Computer vision. Predict the sentiment of a social media post. Okay, I give it a minute. I will come back to this question again. There's a keyword that you must understand over here. The sentiment. Okay, never mind. Identify a fraudulent credit card payment. What is this? Anomaly, because not normal. I mean, I'm just putting it easier for you to remember. Normally. Actually, not really. Anomaly means something that is beyond the normal. Almost the same. So this is anomaly. Predict next month's toys sale. That's a regression. How come regression is where you have line? So that means, what is this? The sentiment of a social media post, natural language processing. So that's what I'm talking about. Moms and in house, when they cook food, when they serve to you and to me, they know from your face itself when they like. Maybe for us, whatever lantak makan, right? But I mean, I'm talking about moms lah. Your mom will be the right person to know whether you are enjoying the food. My mom passed away this year, January. After she passed away, only I realized, all these while I've been eating because of her. She makes sure every day there is lunch, there is something. Even though I'm not in the home, she will prepare. Then she'll make sure she'll call, hey, come. She's 73 years old that when she passed away. So, well, only the natural language processing can catch if that particular, like a mother, don't talk to me about a man. Man's natural language is, very bad. That is a major problem with the men. And the wife asks, how is the food? But a man, very honest man, garam sudah lebih lah, sudah pedas lah. Diam makan saja lah. In all other conditions, man is perfect. When it comes to this, so, I mean, that is different story. But does that mean that he didn't like the food?
Yes. Yes.
He didn't like the food. You go and check your father at home. But father, if you have old man today, better be old than check it. Whatever food you give, the fella will eat, back, finish, and at the end, not nice. Every food not nice. How do we know that whether he actually likes the food? Plate empty, hey, it's nice lah. Your mouth will only tell not nice. The plate empty, don't tell me it's not nice. So that is natural language processing. Natural language. What is my natural human being natural language? You cannot trust, especially our politician. So when the politician says something very scary, especially like yeah, I don't want to talk about nation politics. Because because I think our politics, if I talk, we can condemn how. The scenario is like that, not only in Malaysia, everywhere. But you look at US, talk so much about the crisis and that, but still they don't do anything proactive. So the natural language processing for American statement, I want to know first, who are you? Are you a supporter of this group or that group? If you are a supporter of particular group, then no matter what he says, you must be careful. Like our current next available possible candidate for US president, Donald Trump. Very high likely he can become a president now. Because in America, Americans love him. Whether the whole world likes him or not, whether people like, majority of Americans like him. They like him, they love him. Whether he is right, whether he is the right man or correct man, I don't know. But one thing in ground in US looks like in this election he's going to come back. So better don't condemn too much about him. Keep our mouth shut for a while. Don't know. As we know himself, natural language processing. Whenever he says something, it is not what he means. It is always the other thing, isn't it? Always he does that. That is actually now I'm learning from AI. AI taught me, look, computer can be like, oh, not only, wait. Why are you telling computer can be not reliable? It should be reliable what? No, it depends on what you feed the program. If you tell the program, do not talk about bad things about, let's say Israel. Do not talk bad things about Western world. Do not publish about news which is scandalous to them. It follow now. That's why ChatGPT also never condemn about that. And look at the write-up. The write-up is like so biased. So biased. Why it can be biased? Because you program it. So that is on the natural language processing also. Okay, next question. Correct, huh? Yep. Predict sentiment, natural language. Identify written letters, computer vision. Fraudulent anomaly. Prediction next month, toy sales, regression. Your company is exploring the use of voice recognition technology in its smart home devices. The company wants to identify any barriers that might unintentionally leave out specific user groups. Now you all have Alexa, Google Home Assistant, in fact, a couple of different Tuya, Smart Life Tuya, all these are different technology, which actually also have voice recognition. You can always tell Alexa, turn on the lights. Alexa, off the fan. Actually, you can do that, right? Alexa, how many of you guys are using? I don't know. I don't know how. I've seen a friend of mine having Alexa in his office. I have Google Home at home. Oh, Google Home not better. I tell Google Home off the lights in the hall. The fellow knows which one is the hall lights. Came off. But the Alexa, maybe American AWS or what, I don't know. The fellow, I asked question, the fellow asked me back question. He didn't understand my sentence. The meaning, the sentence is still based on probably American slang. So you must talk like in their slang, then only the device. I don't know. I never tried. Anybody tried Alexa? Ada? Google Home? Google Assistant? Siri? Ada kan? So after this, what you do? Okay, since you already come to this class, I give you two things. Go buy 2 items. Dua benda saja I ask you to buy. Satu you belilah itu yang benda murah. I give you cheap item. In your house, wherever you got lights that you can turn on and off. Not the aircon. Aircon only is only the light and fan. We got 1 gang button, 2 gang button. Like that, right? One gang is about 15 ringgit, two gang 30, 20 ringgit, three gang 30 ringgit. Shopee can buy. Buy lah, you can buy whichever brand, Smart Life got, Tuya got, you got also Alexa, you got also. In this version, you always will see you got either Wi-Fi version, Zigbee version. Huh? Generally Wi-Fi, Zigbee. What else we have? Got some more. Bluetooth version. Got some more. Zigbee, and then there is one more Z. But in Malaysia, Wi-Fi lah. Wi-Fi and Zigbee lah. Okay. Which one am I supposed to choose? Am I supposed to choose Wi-Fi or a Zigbee? If you want to connect long distance, that means your door in your house, but your sensor is in front, but you want to control all the doors. The best is Malaysia, pakai Wi-Fi. Why? You are the Wi-Fi controller. You are the Wi-Fi already, but the Wi-Fi got problem. If I put my, let's say my device at that door, and my controller is in the center, I bet you it's not gonna get the signal. Not this one, okay lah. This one, okay. My behind door cannot get. But that itself a big issue. You got a second floor, third floor cannot. Second floor, far end cannot. Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi punya distance berapa jauh? Wi-Fi got two types, right? 802.11a and B. Short distance A, long distance B. Kalau short distance, okay, katakan access point over here. Short distance. This is the short. Within this room, you can consider short distance. That means the fella you can talk to him. You cannot talk to him if you are behind me, because this is 802.11a, 5 gigahertz bandwidth. 5 gigahertz cannot go very far. So that's why what you do, you use 2.4. 2.4 can go far. How far? 100 meters. Meters, 100 feet. I mean, they say you can go up to 100 meters, but 100 meters your signal very difficult. 100 feet also very difficult. I know my access point, and then of course, again, if your controller and the device have no block, then you can reach. Now, I'm talking about you put in the ground floor, got staircase must go up, got rooms, then you have another location. Now you see your Wi-Fi won't give you signal. So what you do? You can go for Zigbee. Zigbee and Wi-Fi got difference. What's the difference? Zigbee uses mesh topology. Meaning, let's say my controller is in the ground floor. I have a device in my first floor, another device in my second floor, and then another device outside. This one can talk, okay lah. I can say this one, mati saja. But you know what? This guy can definitely talk to this one, right? And this one can talk to this one, right? Can I give connection to all of them through this link? Okay, but not in Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi cannot do that. Why cannot? Wi-Fi must connect back to the access point, not to another device. This one is Zigbee mesh topology. If I'm using mesh, what does the mesh will do? Doesn't matter. I can connect to everybody. This guy will try to connect to everybody. Same thing. He is also going to connect to everybody. He is also going to connect to everybody. However, let's say because my modem is ground floor, my device is on the second floor, very far away. This signal fade. No problem. I got another signal, this one. Right. I still can get connected. That is called mesh topology. So you know now what is the advantage of Zigbee, number one. Number two, Zigbee can last long. The battery very small. Zigbee devices normally they're like a watch. They're very small devices usually, and they use a small battery, and the battery can last for 1-2 years. If you use Wi-Fi, how long can Wi-Fi last? Lesser. As far as I know, I cannot give you any comments now because it has been almost now 6 months. Around 6 months, I have installed both Wi-Fi, Zigbee, Bluetooth, PLE, all in my house. I know, unfortunately, Zigbee is not working. That not because of Zigbee is not working, but just disconnected. The people don't know how to use it. But actually, the Zigbee signal much better from far away compared with my Wi-Fi. My third floor devices, I cannot talk to them via Wi-Fi. So of course, I bought an extender, you know, the TP mesh extenders, D-Link extenders, right? I bought Deco 4, and then I put 111, then all of them get connected. Now this Deco thing, have you heard about this TP Deco extender, right? This Deco thing is Wi-Fi one. See, Wi-Fi, when you talk about it, I've got Wi-Fi 5. Now this is mesh Wi-Fi 6. So basically, Zigbee is already in Wi-Fi 6 now. Wi-Fi now only becoming capable of mesh or Wi-Fi 6. So that one you will see later. Okay, that's on a little bit on the home devices. So, which is the guiding principle? The company wants to identify any barriers that might unintentionally leave a specific user group. Inclusiveness. If I do not want to leave anybody out of my network, inclusiveness. What are the 3 Microsoft guiding principles for responsible AI? For responsible AI, if it is responsible AI, CDF, inclusiveness, fairness, reliability, and safety. Where got knowledgeability and decisiveness? Tada. Please be careful, huh? Opinionatedness pun tada. Okay, next question. Returning a bounding box. What is a bounding box? Whenever I have an object, like I have a, let's say I have a bird. Like this. Right? Or you got a lot of these captcha. You got to capture messages, you got to click on all the bridges, all the cycles, motorbikes, cars, but that was a bit easy also. But sometimes what you get is one single image. Sometimes you get many images, you choose all the cycles. Of course, I can say. So you see one single image, you select the boxes that actually connect the cycle. So let's say like this, this your box is like this big. Okay, let's say this is your box, right? I mean, do I need such a big box? Or I just need enough size to cover the top and the bottom of the object. Actually, you need enough to cover the object. If you remember a lot of those IP cameras where they scan people, they only scan the head, right? So how do they know that is the head? The shape, where got head triangle? The shape is always like this oval shape. Lebih kurang. But then sometimes the scanner also can get confused. Why? 2x3. If you take a photo instead of like this, you take a photo like that, sideways, or you take it from the back. But still, of course, the current computer AI standards are trying to also to analyze that, which is big thing to do, but not correct, right? Returning a bounding box that indicates the location of a vehicle in an image is an example of image classification, object detection, optical character recognizer, semantic segmentation, image, object detection, right? Why we cannot call this image classification? Because you are trying to Bring the bounding box. If you're not talking about the bounding box, then that is image classification. Lah. Okay, next. Number 16. Which is used to generate additional feature. Feature engineering. Okay, some terminology kita hafal dulu, nanti kemudian kita discuss. You run a charity event, involves posting photos of people wearing sunglasses on Twitter. You need to ensure that you only retweet photos that meet the following requirement. Include one or more faces, contain at least one person wearing sunglasses. Okay, so if that is the case, what should you use to analyze the image? Verify operation or detect operation? Describe image operation or analyze image operation? Include one or more faces. You need to ensure that you only retweet photos that meet the following requirement. Include one or more faces, contain at least one person wearing sunglasses. So this one, detection. You want to detect sunglasses. When you design an AI system to assess whether loans should be approved, the factors used to make a decision should be explainable, right? You want to make sure it is, people can understand what is the requirement for the loan. This is an example of which transparency, inclusiveness, fairness, privacy and security. This transparency, right? Because why? The factors must be explainable to your customers. The rest all you can read later on. Number 19. Okay, providing an explanation of the outcome of a credit loan application is an example of the Microsoft transparency principle for responsible AI. Explanation of the outcome of a credit loan application. Yes, because the explanation, right? That's transparency. A triage board that prioritize insurance claims based on injuries is an example of the Microsoft reliability and safety principle. I don't think so. First of all, both. That both always go for conversational AI. Secondly, no. A triad board that prioritize insurance claim based on injury. That's what the board does. That's okay. It's a board now. So what does a board? What board is connected to which principle? Wait. Sorry. So okay, like looking at this, number one, correct lah. Okay, understandable. When you do explanation of how you do the selection, that is transparency. Okay, triage board, it's not reliability and safety principle. An AI solution that is offered at different prices for different sales territories is an example of the Microsoft inclusiveness principle for responsible AI. I mean, it's not considered Microsoft inclusiveness lah. If you're talking about inclusiveness, you are giving opportunity to everybody equally the same. But in this case, when you differentiate, you cannot consider that to be inclusiveness. That's what it is. Inclusiveness mandates that AI should consider all human races and experiences equally the same. And final number 20 question, let's see. Okay, yang ni kita jawab sendirilah. The system must not discriminate based on gender or race. That is what? Fairness. Personal data must be visible only to approved users. Privacy and security, right? Reliability and safety. Yeah. Now, personal data. Whenever you see the word personal data, that is privacy. PDPA, Privacy Act, right? So you imagine that automated decision-making process must be recorded so that approved users can identify why a decision was made. Transparency. Okay, fairness. Eh? Fairness, right? Yeah, fairness, privacy, and security, transparency. Okay, lah. So we have done until number 20. We're going to take a short break for a while and then continue after the break.